very much for staying with us. This is Market Sense. The equity markets have certainly tapered off from the day's high, but still up by just about 0.5%. 59.32 and 20,000 is now off from the Sensex. The Bank Nifty futures too has somewhat come off from the day's high. Yogesh Mehta of PCG Advisory Equities and Motilal Oswal Securities now joins in on the show. Thanks very much for being with us, Yogesh. Just also talk about Jet Airways for the moment. In fact, the Supreme Court, we understand, has issued a notice to the government pertaining to the Jet Etihad deal. Should quickly just pull up the stock price for you. Not really sure as to what that notice is regarding, but it's given the government 4 weeks to reply to the notice regarding the same. So you can see the stock has marginally tempered off from the day's high, but currently quoting up by just about 1%. Yogesh, apologies for that, but just wanted to talk about the broad market momentum. Liquidity flows have certainly been coming in thick and fast on account of the Fed tapering being postponed. But how do you see, the impact of this lasting, and how do you see the trend of liquidity shaping up?
See, as of now, whatever the announcement has come from pre-RBI policy from the government and RBI governor, it seems that they want to ease the liquidity further into the system so as to control the inflation as well as the rupee control, which is depreciating till now last RBI policy. But looking at new development, which is MSF has been relaxed and the rate cut on last policy, what do you feel that it will ease off some more liquidity up to say 200 billion rupee? And that will fuel further for Indian economy, and we can see some more. This could be precursor to the RBI policy forthcoming, that we can see some more ease of policy rates further. So this is what we have seen is the ongoing trend will be very positive for banking sector for due to these things.
Mind you, this is we should pull up Jet Airways. It's in the red. But this is essentially in reply to Subramanian Swamy's plea. So this is not meaning that the deal has been squashed, just for somebody who is watching or reading out the flashes right now. While the stock may be in the red, it's essentially a reaction to a plea filed by Subramanian Swamy. The deal may well happen. It may not happen. That's a separate thing. But the deal may well happen as well. So just be careful if you're indeed playing for this piece of news, thinking that this means that the deal has been squashed. That's not been the case. Yogesh, the last few days, we've been in a very tight range. I know you just gave a brief outlook on the markets, but what about the banking stocks and the Bank Nifty in particular? How do you expect them to shape up? Because by virtue of what the RBI has done, it's just given a bit of a short-term floor to banks, because there are surprise decisions that the RBI now comes out with, which have a positive impact on the banking stocks in general.
These all are temporary measures because it's a 7 days to 14 days window has been open. But overall, we see that banking sector, we have seen very high swings into highs and lows into private sector bank, and public sector banks are still, they are being highly beaten down and available at 0.6, 0.55, 0.65 price to book value. But overall, the trend seems to be that this time we will see that the end of 30th September, the bond portfolio would have booked the heavy losses. So on that front, we can see that worst of the worst performance on public sector bank. But that will be could be a sort of a bottom approach that we can see further improvement from this level, because it is the highest losses they have booked on the bond side. But looking at banking sector still under dilemma, that does not mean it will give a U-turn and a high V-shape recovery, but we will have to gradually see the results as well.
Yogesh, you do have all of those infra companies which are certainly cheering the payment deferral by the CCEA on the for the premium payment to these companies. That certainly comes about as a breather for them. But is this up move here to stay?
See, these all real infrastructure stocks are companies are having high debt, but these are temporary only trading activities maybe going on, but overall they are very heavily burdened, and interest payment is also a cause of a big concern. So this could be just temporary relief, and trader would be there to encash some opportunity on trading gains, but overall still sector is not out of the woods so far.
Mind you, what I just said before, that it's not a stay, the deal is not out, it is just that the Supreme Court is asking the government and related parties to reply to the plea filed by Subramaniam Swamy. So I think that should probably provide a bit of a relief to somebody who's in the stock of Jet Airways, because it's not that the deal is out of the window. They just asked for a reply from the government on the plea filed by Subramaniam Swamy. Should pull up the intraday of Jet Airways for you. Pretty much what I said just a minute ago. It's not out. The Supreme Court is saying that they can't put a stay on the deal for now. It's just seeking a reply from the related parties. So that's on Jet Airways. Okay, that aside, a few other stocks which have done very well. Hinduja Global, for example, is up close to 20% in the session today. Yogesh, I don't know if you remotely looked at this one, but out of the blue, certain stocks are finding favor with HNIs. Have you ever looked at a Hinduja Global? It's up close to 20% in the session today.
No, I'm afraid I've never looked at the company, so won't be able to comment anything on that.
Fair call. What about some of the commodity names, particularly the OMCs, because they recovered very sharply over the last few sessions on account of what the currency has done. Might be a bit soft today, but what's the call on BPHP, or for that matter IOC?
Yeah, for that matter, I think that we think that overall BPCL should do very well out of these OMC companies, and whatever the rupee has appreciated is good enough for all the companies. But IOC have a matter of the divestment issues going on.
Okay, Yogesh, we'll leave it at that. Thanks very much then for joining in and giving us your fundamental opinion right here on the show. Prakash Gaba is still with us.